Shanghai with the sun setting, the floodlights taking over. I'm Rupert Bell as we get ready for round 2 of stage 3 of the Global Champions Tour here in Shanghai. A fascinating first round with many a twist and turns. It was not an easy course, but 3 teams managed to come with a double clear, and that's why they are top of the pack. And there are a lot of other teams. There are 12 other teams hoping to close them down, because the first 3 teams were magnificent on Peter Grant's course, and they were trouble-free. So it is Madrid in Motion, though, who are going to be the last team to go after their fabulous performance earlier today. Alongside me, Dan Strange. It was a fascinating first round. Now, you know all the changes. Just give us, for people who just joined us, a couple of takeaways from the first session, which, we did think was going to cause problems, and it did.
It did. It ran to what was predicted by Scott Brash, that there would be faults all over, but they were smattered across the rounds. What was it, 10 with 4 faults, 3 double clear. And of course we lost at the halfway stage. Paris Panthers, Guido Grimaldi coming off unfortunately, but both horse and rider okay. Stockholm Hearts with Chin-Yu Peng missing out, and that's disappointing for them because it's been a tough season, tough start to the season for them.
But overall then, obviously you looked at the ladies from Cannes were once again on fire, and showing that they are a force to be reckoned with. And we look at the changes now, and for the start list for round 2, let's take a look at the start list and the way it's sort of panning out. We're looking at the changes that have been made. We've got a much bigger course, a much more demanding course, so teams have made changes. As we look at that list, what do you think are the main takeaways from the changes the teams have made, and sort of any standout moments?
Well, you've got 2 teams that haven't made any changes to horse or rider. So Riesenbeck International, Rome Gladiators, both same riders and horses there as well. 6 teams across the group today in the second round have 1 change. And the interesting one, in the last 6 to come, only Shanghai Swans, who you spoke to earlier at length, are the only team to make multiple changes. Now, will the fresh horse legs there help them in that top 6? Is so tight, could that be crucial? Yeah,
and that of course is the team that features Ben Mayer, Daniel Deusser and Max Kuhne. You know that they have made those changes. They were, unlucky, and one of those gaggle of teams who just picked up 4 faults. Yeah, and it's Ben Mayer changing to Dallas Vegas Bati, and Max Kuhne rides Jacko Blue. So 2 quality horses coming in. Daniel Deusser will ride in the individual qualification for the LGCT, but he won't be involved in the team competition today. The strength in depth they've got, not just in the horses that we've mentioned, but in the riders as well, so is unbelievable. Looking at the team's double clear,
yep.
Obviously Victor Bettendorf, I know he's now job done, yep. Put my feet up, I went clear, an impressively quick time too, yep. Which is has meant that they're leading going into this, will be the last team. What do you make of the changes that the Cannes Stars, Prague Lions and Madrid in Motion have made here?
For Cannes Stars, well, the pressure for me, although she's riding brilliantly and she's a real rising star, is on Natalie Dean, because we know what Jana can do and how quality she is. Natalie does change. She rides a Kota. Now, a Kota has gone clear twice in 13 rounds, so obviously the stats are slightly against her. We don't want to go into a massive statistical dive here, but they are slightly against her. So pressure on her. Jumping at 160. That's jumping at 160. Yeah, at 155, she's 100% clear in Global Champion. So a very, very good horse, a Kota coming in. For Madrid in Motion, Manuel Sarro went clear in the first round. He rides Dreamland in the second. And Edu Asnar comes in. Now, Edu's not on Rockefeller this week. He's on Legend. He's a very, very good rider and a very, very good horse. I think Legend's 1 from 3 at this height, clear. So they've got a good chance. And Prague Lions, Niels Brunsil, always high quality. And Impress K continues in the second round. That's the 1 horse change that hasn't happened for Prague Lions with Thibaut Spitz. Okay, those 3 streams are double clear. Any ones of the 4 faults? Who do you think is going to maybe challenging of the ones on 4? There's a lot of teams in and around there. Istanbul Warriors, for me, with Henrik von Eckermann and Simon Delestre, they've made 1 horse change, I believe. You can't look past them. Basel Cosmopolitans, they bring in Andreas Scow, their manager. He rides Napoli. but Napoli has only gone clear once in 14 at this height. So
Okay.
That worries me slightly.
What we're saying is it's all to play for. Now, if we didn't have round 2, thank you, Dan, for the time being. We'll be sending you out to go and do your thing. Let's take a look at what the virtual ranking would be if we ended today and who would be out on top. Now, of course, we know Cannes Stars were leading at the start of the day. And are they still? Well, they still would be leading today. Prague Lions, Madrid in Motion, Shanghai Swans. That's the way it would look after after the first round. So still all to play for, but the Cannes Stars, if they can continue this kind of form, will be leading after round 3 if they're in where they are now, but if they obviously be looking to go up the leaderboard. So plenty at stake here. Can be lots of movement, but right now Cannes Stars enjoying themselves. Prague Lions and Madrid in Motion, a good day for them so far. Well, I'm delighted to say, joining me now, he didn't realise he was sitting next to me at breakfast, but he was, because he'd just flown in, and all I heard, like probably so many people here, oh, I don't know how much sleep I've had, I don't know what time of day it is. Peter Grant, the course designer, you came in yesterday, but all your work was done before in terms of designing the course. How are you now, late on an afternoon here in Shanghai, after presumably about 2 hours kip?
Yeah, no, for everything's good. So I'm being helped out by the adrenaline at the moment, so it's getting me through the day. But setting for this group and this level of riders is always exciting. So it's given me the pickup I needed to get through the day.
How satisfied were you with the way the first round panned out? Because we'd heard from 1 or 2 riders say, "Oh, this there's not much let up," and then the double that was just behind us here at 9 seemed to catch out a lot. Were you surprised by anything, or did it sort of ride as you felt it would?
I thought it was a pretty good competition. I would say the one thing I was surprised that 11A came down a little bit more than I was expecting, and various factors, I suppose. But all in all, I thought it was an appropriate test, and we had lots of sympathetic faults and nobody with big scores. So I thought it was an interesting and lent well to the team competition coming into round 2.
And when you look at this arena, well, I'm standing here, it looks big. So is that an easy thing to design for, or would you rather because you've got a sort of vast template to play with?
No, for me, I prefer the space for sure. Grew up in the big grass fields in Western Canada, so I'm plenty comfortable with the space. I think it's a beautiful venue. Everything about it is first class, so it's really an honor and a pleasure to build.
And so what can they expect here in this one?
I think it's the qualifier for the Grand Prix. It's good prize money, but there's still for me, the primary function is the team competition. So it's a little bit of a mix. It's maybe a step up technicality from the first round, but still, I think the emphasis is on a little bit of handiness, and there'll be, I hope, if I did my job well, there's plenty of opportunities to jump clean and hopefully do it fast.
Peter, thank you so much. You and I will probably sleep well tonight because we're still on, I know what time zone we're on, but I tell you what, so far so good from your perspective, and I hope we get just as much drama as we had in the first round. Peter, very nice to see you.
Thank you.
Now, that's Peter Grant, who's the course designer. Our commentator is Ed Holloway, so let's go and join Ed, who is out and about taking a look at the course that Peter has designed. So Ed, what do you make of, we've just been hearing from Peter, is it going to be a fair test? And he's also got Natalie Dean with him as well. Well, what do you think of it so far?
We're just ahead of GCL round 2, and I'm delighted to join the Cannes Stars. We're just ahead of GCL round 2, and I'm delighted to join Cannes Stars' Natalie Dean after a brilliant first round with Con Calma. Natalie jumps a devastating clear round in Mexico City with a Cota M en route to second place. Natalie, you weren't in Doha for your win. Tell us please about Con Calma's round and your impression of the first round test of Peter Gray, Natalie.
Yeah, I'm really proud of my horse Connor, Con Calma as we call him. I think he jumped a super round. He's gotten more and more consistent this winter, and I think the best is still to come for that horse.
It looked like a big course but straightforward, but it caused a lot of problems from some of the best in the business. What was your overall feeling about what Peter said?
I think it was a nice course. I think that there were little faults here and there, and I think that there's still a big round to jump in round 2, and I think we have to keep our focus for round 2 and hope we can pull it off.
You've got a Kota M coming, Annie. She was brilliant in Mexico. What's your impression of this course now?
Yeah, for sure this round is bigger than the last round. I think that it'll be hard enough to jump, but I know Annie very well, and she's quite quick against the clock, so I don't really have to focus on the time with her.
CanStars, you were part of the team last year, the champions. This year, a win and second. Only 3 teams now with a 0 score. You're one of them. What's the magic, Natalie?
I think that the magic for our team is the Iron Dames and really the support from Deborah. You really feel the whole team behind us, and we really aim for these events, and we try to make the best plan with the riders that we have at each show, and I think that you can really see that in our results so far.
Good luck and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that is Ed talking to Natalie Dean. She's been one of the stars of the Global Champions Tour so far this year, and certainly this afternoon she's brightened up proceedings here in Shanghai. The sun has now started to go behind the grandstand. The floodlights taking effect. Riders getting their last-minute peep at Peter Grant's course for this round 2. And amongst those riders, the husband and wife combination of Angelica Zanatelli and Marlon Zanatelli. They will be out first up. Actually, we'll see Angelica in the first team out, Monica Comets, and then riding for Basel Cosmopolitans, Marlon Zanatelli. Well, he will be hoping for a good run. They've got obviously, and certainly both of them will be hoping to move their team up the leaderboards. But it's fascinating to see them here. And before the competition got underway today, Dan Strange caught up with the powerful show jumping couple.
Marlon and Angelica, described as a true power couple of the GCL. Welcome back to the tour. Angelica, how does it feel to be back in the GCL?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it feels really well, really good. It's my first competition this year in the GCL, so I'm very excited.
Marlon, you've been here a couple of days in Shanghai. How are you finding the venue? How are you finding the city?
The venue is amazing. Just everything for the horses has perfect facilities. We have the stables are amazing. The horses are very well here. So for us, it's the most important thing. The city we haven't seen much. I'm terrible with that, but it's amazing. Big cities. It feels a bit like in the big cities in Brazil as well with the traffic and all that. So different thing to see us coming from the farmlands of Belgium.
Obviously, as you say, not getting to see much of the city, but at least you get to enjoy the show together. Show jumping is an unusual sport in that riders do actually share information between each other often. How, as a couple, do you share information when you're riding at shows like this?
Yeah, we do everything together. I think that's an amazing opportunity we have here. 2 5-star top riders with the chance to share things together, and not only that, but the unique thing of being able to have a family and do the business together. I think that's really special.
You've got a family, 3 children. You are a couple, but obviously 2 very different personalities as well. Just talk me through, Angelica, how those personalities are within a show like this. Do you like feedback from Marlon through the competition?
Yeah, I do a lot actually. I even like him, if he has time to be there, help me in the warm-up. We always talk when we walk the course, so I like to do as much as possible together, and I look up to him very much as a rider. So he's my husband, but still when we are on the show I also see him as a like almost like a trainer, a partner, and it's really nice.
How does that play out within, obviously you're both on new teams this year, you with the Monaco Comets powered by Iron Dames and Basel Cosmopolitans. How does that feedback sharing differ if you're on different teams?
I think we always help each other. Of course, when we are in the ring, we are competing against each other, but everything we do outside, we help. We are sportsmen, and I think all of the riders, more or less, would give a hand to someone if they need. But in the arena, of course, we like to beat each other, but outside we try to help as much as possible.
Marlon, last year here, Angelica had a massive show here in Shanghai. You've obviously achieved so much as well around global champions. Who's more competitive?
I think she'll agree with me that I'm probably the most competitive one. But I think we're both very competitive riders, otherwise we didn't achieve what we achieved. So,
with Monaco Comets, what does Angelica bring to this team? They've got a huge opportunity, the Monaco Comets, to do a massive do massive things this season. But what does Angelica bring to the roster?
I think, like we said before, she's a super competitive rider. She has good horses to ride. Very experienced rider, has been on podium many times with the league. So I think she can bring all that into the plate.
Obviously, Monaco Comets come from the Iron Dames stable, so we've seen a bit of what goes with the Cannes Stars there and their success. Angelica, for Marlon and the Basel Cosmopolitans, what qualities does he bring into that unit to help them look for success?
I think everybody wants to have Marlon in their team. It's a huge benefit. He's in the ring. He's delivering also mostly clear rounds. He's fast, but I think also outside of the ring, he's really good to have in the warm-up. He's a real team player, yeah. I was going to say, unfortunately, he's not a woman, but I don't think I should say that. Then things would look different. But he's really one that they are lucky to have in the team, I would say. Yeah.
And it's going to be a huge weekend for both of you. If it's going down to maybe Angelica going into the arena she's got to go clear to beat Basel Cosmopolitans, how conflicted will you feel at that point?
I don't think I'll be conflicted, but I think I'll be happy either way. I mean, if she goes clear and wins it many times, if I'm in the class, she can say herself, I would go in the warm-up and tell her, you got to do this and this to try to beat me. I mean, try to help her. We'll be happy. We know how hard it is to win a class in our sport, and I think every rider feels a bit the same. If you do it good to win a class, is because you're beating your own challenge and your own challenge with your horse.
To you both, great to have you back on tour, and best of luck for this weekend in Shanghai.
Well, wish them luck in this second round, and Angelica will be in the first team that will be coming out very shortly to begin this second round here of stage 3 of the Global Champions Tour. Really looking forward to seeing how it goes on. Now, this course, we've heard from Peter Grant, heard from Ed talking to Natalie Dean. Well, now, let's get our commentator's view of the course. Let's go and join him out there and find out what he thinks that Peter Grant has provided as a challenge this afternoon for the teams, the 15 teams that will be coming forward for round 2. Ed, what do you make of it?
Rupert, thank you. Yes, it's a fascinating course that I think has been said again by Peter Grant. His first round test was already demanding. It wore fair if big, and it caused havoc for the best in the world. The first fence now is out the back. It is the GC triple bar. It's 180 in width. They then run left-handed down to this, the beautiful Castle Garden vertical, 155 tall. Then it's a handbrake turn back to another very big vertical, 157 tall, the Prague Playoffs vertical. That will then lead them down to this huge oxer, fence 4, the Shanghai oxer, 150 by 160. They then spin back the top end of this just International Equestrian Centre. The Red Liverpool 160 tall is fence 5. Then the Just Sports Oxer, 160 wide, that is on the far side. We'll lead them down to the double combination, 7A and B, 150, 160 in, one stride through 7B, which is 158 leaving. Left-handed then back to this fence just ahead of us, the Longines Oxer. That is massive. Fence number 8, 160 wide, 153. And then they're going to go back up to fence number 9, the Laofen Jiang Plank, 160 tall. It's delicate, not far from the in gate either. But then comes the treble combination, 10A, B and C just behind us. 156 is the in part, one stride to B. That is very wide, and then 2 strides to 10C, 158 tall. They then spin left-handed back to another massive vertical. That is 11, the Bao Jun vertical. Down then to the Snake Liverpool on the far side here. This is now the home line. And finally, the final fence is 13. I'm going to have a quick word to Zoe Conter about the course. Zoe's in great form. Zoe, a snap reaction, please, about Peter Grant's second round course.
Well, it's a really good course. I mean, the second round is always much bigger than the first. I think we can all agree. He builds pretty delicate. So I think you want to ride this course with a lot of poise and just take it fence by fence, because obviously you want to be competitive competitive, but there's big jumps to jump, so you really need to take your time.
Zoe, you're in great form in Mexico City. You must come with real confidence into Shanghai.
Yes, well, actually, I'm in really good form. Thank you very much. My horses have been feeling great. I have a really great squad of good horses, feisty mares, which I love. They fight for me in the ring. And I mean, it's my first time in Shanghai. It's an amazing venue. The accommodation is incredible, and I'm super excited to get the show started here.
Good luck, Zoe. We're buoying the Mexico Amigos onto another great finish here.
Yes, hopefully we can have a podium finish.
Thank you. And yeah, back to you, Rupert. A fascinating course we have on our hands.
Thank you, Ed. Yes, fascinating. Good little insight there from Zoe Conte. She's excited. She's obviously riding for Mexico Amigos, who will be starting in the second round of the second half of our second round, if you see what I mean. So you'll be seeing her later on. But there are a whole number of teams that, after the round one here, ended up with 4 faults. And one of those, not only Mexico Amigos, was Saint-Tropez Pirates. And they will be the first of the 4 fault teams to come in, 4th to go in this second session. And let's now hear from one of their riders. He didn't compete in the first round, but he is in action later on, well, in about 20 minutes time, I would imagine, a bit later than that. Delighted to say that joining Dan out is Duarte Seabra.
Thanks, Rupert. Yeah, we're here in the arena with Duarte Seabra of the Saint-Tropez Pirates. Duarte, you've had a look at the course. We're by 12 to 13, which is coming towards the end of the course. What is your thoughts on what Peter Grant's put together here?
It's a big course, and it's always it's a first day. So normally a course like this with these dimensions we jump second or third day, and in normal shows. Here, having a course like this on the first day is always tough. But I think it's a fair course, but it's long and big. And hopefully we can manage to jump a clear round.
How does it suit Dorados? How do courses like this, sort of bigger arenas like this, suit your horse?
Yeah, for sure, he's a horse with a big stride. This is a big arena. He's a scopy horse, so for sure this kind of tracks will suit him. And I hope I'm correct today, and I can prove that at the end.
Does it add any nerves to the team? Obviously, one of this plethora of teams on 4 faults. Does that add anything for the team going in?
Yeah, for sure. It changes a lot for the second round. But obviously, if we come with a clear round with 0 penalties from the first round, is always nicer. But now we feel the pressure to jump clear rounds now.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck to you in the Saint-Tropez Pirates. Thanks, Duarte. And Rupert, back to you in the studio.
Well, Duarte Seabra there talking to Dan. Obviously, it'd be fascinating to see how he gets on, of course, in the Saint-Tropez Pirates team that will be going forth up. Let's just look at the start list and how it shaped up after round one. Of course, they go in reverse order. The top team, Madrid in Motion, will be going last of the 15 teams that go forward after 2 were eliminated earlier on. So here is the way it starts for round 2, beginning with the Monaco Comets. They start up the first of the 15 teams, and then, as I say, from 4th onwards until number 12, all those teams had 4 faults in the mornings in the first round here. So that shows how close it is now, with just 3 teams going forward with double clears. That's Cannes Stars, obviously being the star sensation so far in the first 2 stages of the Global Champions Tour, Prague Lions, and then Madrid in Motion with Victor Bettendorf, the star, but he has standing down. So that's how it's going to shape up. The music's cranking up behind us as the crowd here get ready to enjoy what should be a fascinating session here. And will it still see, and I think this is going to be the interesting dynamic, after such a good, strong start, will the Cannes Stars still be top of the pops at the end of this stage? Because they seem to have just had a sort of serenity and a calmness about them. But I do feel that this is such a high-quality group of riders they've assembled here for this stage of the Longines Global Champions Tour that anything is possible. It's a tough track. It will require precision jumping. There will be no room for error. That's going to be the fascinating dynamic here this afternoon. What we've got a sense from not only the course designer but the riders that we've spoken to, they know they will have to be on their mettle, because many teams, after perhaps disappointing starts to their campaign, Lane will be looking for a strong finish here this evening.